I'm Rodney Spires. I'm the wastewater technician here at Hannibal Board of Public Works, the wastewater plant in the city of Hannibal. We're doing an oil and grease machine. This is a Horizon technology, Spedtex 1000. This is our second unit we've had. The first unit was good, but it had some wear on it. It's about 10 years old or so. So we bought this about 2 years ago. It's been also updated to comply with EPA regulation and stuff. Right now, it's processing the sample over here, going through the filter. The hexane is already soaked into the filter, and the oil and grease will adhere to the hexane. Once it's done with the sample, it sits and dries, and then it takes the methanol and hexane both and sprays up into the bottle to clean any more what's left out of the bottle. And then it'll actually suck it down through the hexane down through the vial here, and methanol. You have a little bit of methanol at the bottom, and you drain it off, and you pour the hexane into the Horizon speed vap, and then it will, you turn it up, it's at 50 degrees Celsius, and the air actually stirs the water up and makes it a gas. And then it goes into the Horizon solvent trap, where it cools it back off and makes it back to a liquid. And then all your oil and grease and your fats are actually be in a pan in there that you weigh off, and that's your final weight on your oil and grease. Our oil and grease machine is done. We processed the sample, so we're gonna finish up. Oh, good. There's a layer of methanol right there, and this is your hexane. So this methanol here, we just pour it out to get all of it out. And you can use food coloring to actually colorize the methanol so you actually see it. And here it's pretty easy, but when it gets, if you got oil and grease, it'd be like an orangish, yellowish color. And it's real hard to see the methanol, so we can put a couple drops of it in there. But here you can do it. And I just drain off in the sink so it's gone. Now that see the line's gone, you got a little bit of methanol in there. See the bubbles and stuff? That's all methanol. And you pour it slowly into the pan. And then turn this the air compressor up on. And you can see where it's starting to bubble there, and that's the air coming through these lines, these holes here, and it's heating up. So when it gets 50 degrees Celsius, it turns to a gas. It goes in here, and it goes back to a liquid, and then in there is where our hexane will be, and that can be disposed of as well. And our methanol, anything that's taken off of that, it goes in that solvent recovery. It takes about 15-20 minutes, and then we put it in the desiccator for another 15 minutes, and then you reweigh it, and that's your sample. Anything left in that pan is your oil and grease. This is our oxygen building here. We make pure oxygen at the plant. We take atmospheric air, and we make it about 85 to 90%. Of course, more humid days, it might drop a little lower. We have two Atlas Copco compressors. They're about 4 years old or so. Like I said, we take atmospheric air, it goes through the skid unit to the tank down there. Each one of these skids has got 3 vessels, and the vessel has some sieves, and the sieves takes the nitrogen out of the oxygen, out of the air, excuse me, and makes it pure oxygen. And then it goes through each cycle, and it purges the nitrous back out. And right there, it's purging the nitrogen back up in the atmosphere there. When it leaves here, it goes out and goes into our digester and reactor. And that's how we get our dissolved oxygen levels at.